check out his new project. And when you bought this car, it was complete with the original side valve engine in it.
Yep, little washing machine.
And it's worth noting as well, the metal thickness on this thing.
Built like a tank. You can even weld the rust. This is where all 100 is rot like hell.
All right.
And it's really, really solid. I'm ready to put the engine in now.
All right.
Engine and gearbox got to go in.
Oh, so that's happening soon.
Yeah, she's good. 300 horsepower bathtub.
Yet again, Leigh has saved the day, but I'm just an idiot with a camera, so.
No, I'm just an idiot with a welder.
How have you crammed these 3 cars into the one garage? Hello and welcome to this video. I'm Marcus Hayes, and today I'm going to see my good friend Leigh Booth. Leigh has been on the channel loads of times in the past. He's already shown us around his Cosy powered Mark 1 Escort, his SD170 powered Mark 2 Escort, and his 300 horsepower Zetec turbo kit car that was actually built by his dad. Leigh has always been really supportive about what I'm doing on YouTube, and he's helped me out massively with my cars. He actually done some welding on Maud, my Maud Mark 2 Escort recently. Also gave me a load of parts for Maud, and last week, I dropped off a couple of broken parts that I recently removed from INSTA, my SD170 powered Mark 1 Escort, and he has managed to save both of those parts, which I'm really happy about. So today, I'm going to pick up those parts, but I'm also going to give you guys a look around Leigh's latest project, which he has been very busy working on since he picked the car up. Good afternoon, sir. Welcome back to the channel.
Afternoon.
Massive thanks for saving me again with some welding.
No, it's anytime, mate.
Before I show you what Leigh's been up to for me, check out his new project. All right, so Leigh, this is your latest project.
Yep.
100E. What year is it?
1960.
1960, so a really late 100E.
Yeah, I think it's one of the last ones.
Yeah, we were saying before that some of them are called Popular, some of them are called Anglia.
No, this one's a Popular Deluxe.
This one's a Popular. All right, cool. And when you bought this car, it was complete, right? I remember you showed me a picture of it, and I kind of assumed you hadn't touched it until I come around last week and I saw that, you know, you've literally gone to town on it already.
Yeah, no, it was an absolute full running car.
Yeah, with the original side valve engine in it.
Yep, little washing machine.
Did you get to drive it whilst it was complete? No, but it ran and it was a complete car.
It ran. I literally pulled it in here and then just ripped it to bits.
Oh, fair enough. And you've already actually sold a load of bits of it. You sold the engine and...
Yeah, everything. I sort of sold axle, gearbox, engine, suspension, brakes, everything.
Yeah. So it's pretty cool that there are people out there that are still keeping these things original.
Yeah.
But you very much are not keeping this original.
No. I've pretty much sold everything. What I bought the car for, so it hasn't cost me anything at the moment.
Yeah, fair play. Apart from a load of time and skills.
Yeah, we'll talk about the front end later.
Yeah.
It has cost me a little bit.
Yeah. You can't. These things cost money. Yeah. But yeah, I love it. Like, I just love, as I say, how much you've done. Considering I just thought you hadn't done anything. Like, I was expecting to come and see this as still a complete car, and
no, I've been plodding on an hour here and there, and it's getting there.
Yeah, this is just an initial, first look at this project. We'll be seeing way more of this as Leigh goes through the project. But yeah, with it in here on axle stands, it means that you can work on it, during the winter, which is great, right?
Sort of.
Yeah.
The garage leaks a lot, and it's freezing, so.
That's all right. It's better than doing it on the drive, though, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
All right. So where did you attack first? Because you have done a load.
Well, got it in, stripped it down, took the seats, carpets, glass out. That was where I started first. That was my first job. You can see down there. Yeah, I had like a couple of 50 pence piece worth rot holes in there. So I cut it out, replated it, welded it in.
And it's worth noting as well, the metal thickness on this thing.
I'm used to working on Escort, same as you. And it's a joy to work on this thing because it's literally built like a tank.
Yeah.
You can even weld the rust. so it's really, really easy to work on.
Yeah. So you've put some patches in there, as you can see. You've been sealing stuff up today.
I've been trying to seal things up today as best I can. Yeah,
you're more happy with a welder in your hand than a sealer gun, right?
There's a little patch I've put in down there.
Yeah.
And then there's
one up there as well, actually, you were showing me before.
Yeah, there's a patch in there that I've done. You can see there's a bit of fiberglass I've got to sand down.
Yeah.
The main thing was, I'll show you around here, is I think this is a common problem on them, down there on the lower sill. These was completely rotted out, so I've put all formed and put all new metal in there.
Yeah.
It's not as good as the original, but
the wing comes up to here, no?
The wing comes up to here.
Oh yeah, so that's it. Now you won't see it then, will you?
Yeah, what I'm really impressed with is underneath here, this is where all 100Es rot like hell.
All right.
Here, and it's really, really solid.
Yeah.
There's a couple of patches underneath that I've done, but I think, other than all the tunnel modifications, I think the welding's done now, like repair-wise.
Yeah. And the tunnel wasn't rotten or anything, you just cut that out because you need a bigger one? Right?
Yeah, I've cut that out to start with. It's going to go bigger, but
yeah,
I know I need to cut it out, so I just went to town on it.
Yeah. So originally this would have had like a panel going across, right?
Yeah, it's this panel here. A lot of people just cut these out.
Yeah.
And leave them out.
Yeah.
But it's a bit flimsy, so what I'm going to do is put a couple of plates with a tab down here that you can't see. Yeah. So you can bolt this back in and actually put some rigidity back into it.
Yeah. But make it removable so like engine install is easier and stuff, right?
Yeah, really. I'm thinking about doing it with this bar here.
All right.
I've seen a lot of people do it with them as well.
All right, yeah.
So you literally don't have to lift the engine up at all. They go straight in.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking about cutting that and putting some tabs on that as well.
All right.
To make that bar removable.
This here isn't original.
No,
oh, it's not welded in yet?
No, it's not welded in yet. There you go.
All right, cool.
So I've cut a lot out of it.
So was this rotten, or is it literally just for clearance?
No. When you put a Zetec in it, basically you need to gain about 100 mil. I think when people put Pintos in, they cut it out to here.
Yeah.
And I've seen people put Zetecs in, and they don't go all the way.
Yeah.
And I've seen people cut the whole thing out.
Yeah.
So I just opted to cut the whole thing out.
Yeah.
And do it once.
Yeah. So you'll be able to have the engine nicely far back. But one thing I do like is that you haven't cut this out, so you've still got that original sort of shelf.
I've seen people cut that out, but I don't like the idea of that.
Yeah, no, I think this looks.
And when
better.
people cut this out, you get the two skins of steel.
Right.
There's no strength there.
Yeah.
But I've folded a plate and pushed it up inside.
Oh, right.
Welded that in as well.
Okay.
So
okay, cool.
the ones I've seen, they have got like a little shelf left here.
Yeah.
But the majority of this is cut round, then you join the tunnel into it.
Yeah. But you'll do like the final, shape once you mock the engine up.
Yeah, I'm ready to put the engine in now.
All right.
Engine and gearbox got to go in.
Oh, so that's happening soon.
Yeah. Usually you see them pretty much like the Escorts. They rot round here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's solid. It's solid.
Quite lucky because I actually bought it blind as well.
All right.
Yeah, I was on holiday in Cornwall.
You broke the first rule of buying a classic car.
No, I was on holiday in Cornwall with my family, and I'd seen it on eBay, and I'd been sneakily watching it on eBay for a little while, and I seen no one put any bids on it, so I put a cheeky bid on it, thinking, I won't win it. And I won it. So then I had to break the news to the missus inside. And
Did you tell her once you'd got back from holiday? Or?
No, I told her while I was in Cornwall.
And has your missus forgiven you for buying a car while she was on holiday?
Yeah, as long as I cook her nice meals and buy her a bottle of Prosecco every now and again, she's happy.
Fair enough. If only building classic Fords was that simple. All right, so as you can see, the whole of the underneath is now in red oxide primer. Was there a lot of underseal or anything under this that you had to strip off, or?
There wasn't underseal. There was just like surface rust, but it wasn't rotten.
Right.
So it was just like scale.
Okay.
So I got a knot wheel and got my lad under here to help me, and spent a few days sanding it down.
Yeah, cool.
So
that's cool. Like, at least you didn't find any massive major holes or anything.
No. I think if you can see over here, that was the worst bit there. I've cut it out and plated it there.
Yeah.
And there's a little bit on that side.
Yeah.
And then this is a new chassis rail that's gone in.
Right.
Well, I think it's like a jacking point. And then there's one on your side there that
Yeah.
wasn't that bad, so I've just cut the worst out of it and welded it up. Other than that, it's yeah, she's good.
Oh, you're lucky, man. Could have found some real horrors, like.
Yeah, usually the seals are rotten and it's all good.
Yeah.
And for, I think they only cost me 800 quid.
Yeah.
So I can't ask for any more than that. Forgot to weld a few holes up. Got to weld a few holes up.
No, it's cool. But now you've got it all in red oxide. Like, you know, you can really see the wood through the trees, mate.
Yeah.
Like, you know?
I've stopped at this end where the tunnel's going because obviously I've got to do some welding in there. But my plan is to get some like tintable Raptor and spray it a body colour.
Yeah, cool. And body colour, while you're on the subject, you're keeping it the original dark blue, right?
Yeah, I think it's called Ambassador Blue.
Yeah.
My kids and my wife, they want me to paint it a different colour, but it's not going to be original, but I want the colour to be original. And then probably beige or cream accents.
Yeah. No, that looked cool, man. Yeah, around the back is a better shot of the boot floor. I mean, look how solid this thing is, man. Awesome. And we'll have a quick nosy in the inner arches, like the wheel tubs. Yeah, still got to attack these areas, like, but...
Well, I think the worst part, if you see here, this is the best part.
Yeah.
And I think these are the worst, but this is all going to be, I'm bubble arching it.
Oh, yeah, cool shot. So that's all going to get cut out.
This is going to be cut out anyway.
Oh, I don't know,
from this edge here is where it's going to be tubbed into the outer panel, so...
Right, so that don't matter at all then, does it?
Nope.
Now, if we look at the inside of the rear tub on the passenger side, it's actually in a lot better shape. Hardly any sort of surface rust around there. So cool to see all this red oxided underneath. Yeah, it's interesting that the bump stops, the passenger one is longer, the driver's side one, obviously because of the design of the axle or whatever. And this sort of brace here, you can see at the other side, it's like flush with the bottom of the chassis leg, whereas this side, it's not. Very interesting. I've never really looked that close at anything other than Escort before. It's really interesting to see how different this is. Right, so Lee, let's talk about spec, planned spec. Now, we know plans change, but current planned spec in terms of engine and stuff.
Honestly, so what the wife thinks I'm doing.
Okay. All right, is it like that?
Yeah. No,
I don't want to get you in trouble. Like, you can keep it a secret if you want.
No, you obviously know I've got my car I built with my dad, which I took you out in a few months back. So the last time I've driven it was when me and you went out. So how long was that ago?
And you already have two pretty sick Escorts as well.
Yeah, so my plan is to take the engine box and ECU out of that and drop it in this thing and get rid of what's left as a rolling chassis.
So yeah, if any of you guys are in the market for a kit car, potentially just a rolling chassis, but an absolute weapon. Like, some experience when you took me for a spin in it, man. You're just so close to the ground, like, you're out in the open. Like, I don't think I've ever sort of had an experience as a passenger in anything quite like that before. Like, if any of you are in the market for a kit car like that, rolling shell, then get in touch with me, or I'll leave Leigh's Instagram in the description as well. But yeah, with 300 horsepower Zetec turbo lump in this thing, which probably weighs or will weigh, what, 800 kilos maybe?
No, I think it'd be a bit heavier than that.
Oh, really?
Considering how the thickness of the steel when you compare it to an Escort.
You were saying that you're going to be fitting lightweight fiberglass panels to this as well.
My wife bought me a bonnet for my Christmas present, so I've got that. The boot lid, it's not that bad condition, but I want to change it to a fiberglass one. But the thing that surprised me the most is when I took the doors off, they must weigh like 40-50 kilos each. I've never experienced a door with that sort of weight. I couldn't believe it. So they've literally just gone straight into storage now, and I will be putting fiberglass doors on it. The only thing I'll be keeping steel is the front wings. So I'm going to put my bubble arches in
of course. Yeah.
Rather than grafting fiberglass on and having steel ones on the back.
So fiberglass boot, doors and bonnet?
Yeah. Which is exactly like what my Mark 1 Escort is.
Has that got fiberglass doors?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Yeah, no, this is going to weigh nothing, mate. 300 horsepower in this thing is going to be an absolute riot. Obviously, that's a straight cut gearbox you've got with that as well. And yeah.
300 horsepower bathtub.
Yeah. No, that should be savage, man. All right, so over here, we've got a couple of parts that Leigh has very kindly saved for me for Esta. This is the first RX-8 6-speed that I fitted to Esta, and it had a hole in the bell housing here where part of the clutch basically flew through when one of her clutches got obliterated. And yeah, Leigh's welded that up now. A couple of you guys were saying that I should get that welded up because, you know, ultimately the crack that was at the end of that hole will just grow and grow. And yeah, we don't want the bell housing to crack. So yeah, that's awesome. Going to throw this one back into INSTA this time because when this made a noise, when I thought this was no good and bought the other one, that turned out to be a clutch issue. Story of my life. So I want to put this back in because I think this one, in terms of the input shaft bearing, is a little bit quieter. So yeah, really cool that I've got that now ready to fit to INSTA. And over here we've got the starter motor that I removed recently that had this lug snapped off of it because, like an idiot and like a lazy fool, I only mounted this to the adapter plate with 2 out of the 3 bolts, so it obviously put strain on that one lug. So now I can use the 3 bolts and mount this to the car, and yeah, it saves me buying another starter motor. So yeah, yet again, Leigh has saved the day.
This is my way of supporting your channel.
Nice.
Anytime.
Very much appreciated, man. You've helped me out loads in the past.
Anytime.
I only wish I had a skill that I could repay you with, but I'm just an idiot with a camera. So
well, I'm just an idiot with a welder.
All right, into Leigh's other garage. And how have you crammed these 3 cars into the one garage? Great use of space, man. Yeah, got the kit car on skates and the Mark 1 on skates.
Yeah, the Mark 1's on skates.
Yeah, but yeah, this is Leigh's Cosy powered Mark 1, is ST170 powered Mark 2, and then this is the Zetec Turbo kit car. I'll link the videos in the description to give you guys a more detailed look around these cars. But as we've already mentioned, this thing, minus its Zetec Turbo setup, might be up for sale soon. It's a full stainless steel chassis, so no worries about rust. It's got gas suspension all round it. It's got a Cosy diff. I mean, super cool Revolution rims. So yeah, proper high spec kit car, but you just need to sort your own lump out.
Yeah. It's got massive discs on the front as well. I think they're often Alfa Romeo, but they're huge.
Proper spec'd kit car. And I suppose we can't go without having a look at said Zetec Turbo lump. There it is, with the spoolie boy down there. Just imagine how much of an animal that 100E is going to be with this in the engine bay. Long way to go before that.
Yeah. I think the engine will stay the same, but I'm going to redo the exhaust manifold.
Yeah.
So that'll be like a tubular top mount.
Yeah.
And I'm probably going to redo the intake manifold as well.
Because you're a fabricator.
Yeah. Well, so is my dad, but that's just an upside down Mondeo or Focus manifold.
Yeah. Which is quite a common way of
they just turned it upside down and then just welded a flange on it. But I've made a couple of tubular manifolds, and I think I've showed you in the past, they've come out really well.
Yeah.
And then the intake manifold as well. My old man's not really savvy with the aluminium, so he's made it out of stainless steel. So it's a bit heavy. And obviously, if you look, it follows the body of the car. So I'm not going to need to do that on the 100E, so it can come off square.
And I honestly think, you know, judging by the passenger ride that I had in this, you know, you just throw a Pinto in it, or just a stock NA Zetec.
It doesn't matter what engine you put in there. They're just fun to drive.
Yeah. It's the closest thing mere mortals like us are ever going to get to like a Formula 1 experience.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
Yeah. No, I love it, man. All right, so after chatting to Leigh for absolutely ages about cars and life, after we turned the camera off, it was time for me to get out of his way. And I'm actually now going to go to my parents' place and visit them for a bit because they live relatively close to Leigh's place. But yeah, it was awesome hanging out with Leigh today. I don't do it often enough, to be honest, but we both live very busy lives. But yeah, let me know in the comments what you guys think about his latest project. Imagine that thing when it's all resprayed in the original Ambassador blue, with its Escort bubble arches, with ridiculously wide beige or cream wheels, and with a 300 horsepower Zetec turbo lump in the engine bay. It's going to be absolutely savage, and I will of course bring you guys updates on the build as often as I can. And yeah, I'm very much looking forward to seeing how Leigh gets on with the project. Now, don't forget, if you're in the market for Leigh's kit car, it is now for sale. So I'm going to leave his links in the description, so you can either get in touch with him or get in touch with me, and I'll pass your details on to him. He will, of course, be selling it as a rolling chassis because he'll be nicking the Zetec turbo lump and gearbox for the 100E, but it boasts a really healthy spec, you know, gas suspension, COSI diff, etc, etc. So yeah, get in touch with him or me if you're in the market for a kit car. I want to send another massive thanks out to Leigh for helping me out yet again with some welding. I'm really happy that I've now got all the bits that I need to put INSTA back together, and I'm going to be diving into that in the next couple of days. I have already started shooting another video on Heidi, so I'm not sure which video is going to come next after this one, but whatever happens, I will try and get the next video uploaded within the next few days. So that's all I've got for this video. Massive thanks as always to everyone who's tuned in. If you did think it was any good, please do give it a thumbs up and a share. If you didn't, give it a thumbs down. Click subscribe if you're new. Feel free to follow me on Facebook, TikTok and Instagram. Check out my website for merchandise and car parts. Massive thanks as always to my patrons for your ongoing support. I'll leave all the links to everything in the description, along with my email address for anyone who wants to contact me. But other than that, until next time, thanks for watching.